What's up everyone, welcome back to another What If video. I'm surprised this series actually went on for 13 parts, and it seems like this one might be the end. Well, at least until the Moro arc's over, because I want to see how that plays out before continuing this scenario into that one. Anywho, we'll be covering the Tournament of Power this time, because last time, we left off with a team being created for Universe 7. A team was able to be created, and following that, Gohan and Goten decided that they would go in the Room of Spirit and Time. This was in order for them to get Super Saiyan God, or potentially even Super Saiyan Blue. For this finale, let's see if we can hit 3,000 likes, and without further ado, let's continue on with this part. In order to ensure that they'll be able to unlock this form and potentially even Super Saiyan Blue above that, Goku's going to head in with both of them, bringing extra food to account for the extra person in there. And Goku actually leaves midway through, thinking that they have it handled and also wanting to see how everyone else is performing. It's been a little bit of time since he's seen some of the people on his team, so he kinda wants to spar with them and see where they are in terms of power. After the day passes, Gohan and Goten come back into the real world. Just in their base, they seem way stronger than before. But according to the poll you guys voted in, you said you wanted to see them access Super Saiyan Blue, not just God. This comes as a shock to everyone. Of course, they were expected to get God at the very least, but now they also have Blue, which will be a huge help. So the training definitely did pay off. Trunks is amazed to see his two friends like this, and he hopes that he can attain this power one day. Super Saiyan 2 is good enough for him right now, and he's very strong on his own, but it does get him thinking. This may be something he should keep his eye on in the future. Given their hybrid potential, I would also say that Gohan and Goten have surpassed Goku by this point. Goku also did get a lot stronger because he was in there a couple months, but he left partway through, and like we saw with Gohan in the main story, we could see how fast hybrid Saiyans progress. So I'd actually say they're the strongest on the team, and they're about even with each other. And this is great all around because the team is stronger as a whole, which will definitely help in the tournament. Thankfully, they stopped their training at just the right time, because not long after, everyone heads off to the World of Void. The Tournament of Power is about to begin. The group has a similar strategy this time. Gohan and Goten want people to stick together, but that's not really going to fly with Goku and Vegeta. At least for the other people on the team, they might try and heed this warning. All these universes seem exceptionally powerful, so it's important that they work strategically, and thus, the tournament begins. As expected, Gohan and Goten end up sticking together. After their Room of Spirit and Time training, they know their strengths and have decided not to use fusion because that means one less fighter, just like they warned Goku and Vegeta about earlier on. I mean, it would be cool for a Goten and Gogeta tag team, but maybe that's something for the future. That's not going to happen right now. Their focus here working together as individuals, and there will be some distance between them, but they'll remain relatively close, creating a powerful duo that most other fighters can't contend with. Like normal, Goku and Vegeta head off individually, and as for Trunks, he sticks with Piccolo. I mean, Vegeta kinda wants to do his own thing, and Piccolo is Trunks' teacher, so they seem like a good duo. Krillin and 18 try this out as well and stick together, as do Tien and Yamcha. Within a matter of minutes, people start getting eliminated, and eventually, the first universes begin getting erased. Zeno was not bluffing, and this only makes everyone more serious during the tournament and more motivated to win. Trunks and Piccolo are doing pretty well together on their own. They're fighting together, and Piccolo's amazed at how strong Trunks has gotten. He's knocking people out pretty casually, and he's doing well overall. Like I said, even without Super Saiyan God or Blue, Trunks is still really strong in Super Saiyan 2. And it's good that he's strong because now they're about to face an actual challenge. Frost has come back for his revenge against Trunks after being made a fool in the Universe 6 tournament. Although Trunks looks much different from before because he aged, Frost can still easily tell it's the same guy. Frost is immediately in his final form, and he begins fighting Trunks. And Trunks actually does face some trouble against him, but Piccolo joins in quickly to help. Frost greatly underestimates them, and the two are able to work together with powerful combos to take him out. The two of them end with a flashy finish. Piccolo fires a Masenko while Trunks fires a Gallic Gun, swirling together into what they call a Gallic Masenko, I guess. And Frost is knocked out, through a mix of pure power and strategy. This only angers Frost even more, and he lashes out by trying to attack them from the stands, which leads to him getting erased. Let's actually move over to the Universe 6 Saiyans for a bit. They're really at a huge disadvantage. Kaba was able to recruit the same people, Kale and Caulifla, and he told them about something called Super Saiyan that he heard about. They tried working for it, but they never were actually able to get it. Goten never was able to teach Super Saiyan to Kaba in this timeline, because he is the one who fought Kaba in the tournament. They're much weaker than normal. Things are not really looking too well for Universe 6. They just lost one of their strongest fighters, and their team is weaker overall, but we'll touch on that a little bit later. Also, with no Frost, I guess that means Krillin gets to stay in, so yay for him. And it seems the strategy of working in duos is going pretty well, because on the other side of the tournament, Tien and Yamcha are facing challenges of their own. Eventually, it leads to Tien dropping off the ring like normal, but he actually gets saved by something this time. While his clones are falling, one of them eventually gets picked up by something. It almost feels like he got a powerful punch to the stomach. He's lifted back up and flops onto the ring, and he looks up to see Yamcha there with his fingers out, piloting a spirit ball that just knocked Tien back into the ring. Even though it did kinda hurt Tien, it was a good way to bring him back. And the two of them now have to prepare for things to heat up further while Tien tries to regather his energy. Moving on, Goku does try to face Jiren pretty much like normal. Not even Super Saiyan Blue is enough to fight him. I feel like this still would happen because it's just in Goku's nature to try and fight this while everyone else would just want to avoid Jiren. So this encounter still probably would happen. It goes pretty much like normal though, except there's no Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Well, at least not for Goku. Spoiler alert. Even without the Spirit Bomb, I still feel like Goku would find a catalyst to activate Ultra Instinct. So even if he doesn't have that here, and also if he doesn't have Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, I feel like that won't really make a difference. Because either way he's getting his ass beat. Pretty much like normal. Following this great spectacle, Gohan and Goten are actually able to eliminate a few people after they begin fighting again. Feeling comfortable fighting on their own, they split up briefly and decide to regroup later. And this is where Goten actually encounters Kaba again. Kaba is beaten up, but he's still ready to fight, and then he recognizes that it's a Goten, so he drops his guard a bit. Luckily for him, Goten's not here to fight Kaba. It's actually good that he ran into him. From what Goten can gather, pretty much everyone in Universe 6 has gotten eliminated. Kale and Cauliflower weren't able to keep up, and Hit got eliminated by Jiren like normal. Saunel and Piranha are the only other ones in, besides Kaba who's still hanging in there. Goten obviously doesn't feel right about knocking Kaba out, especially in the state he's in now, so he tries to teach him Super Saiyan like he promised. He feels kinda bad that he didn't teach it before because now his universe is gonna be erased. Given the stress that Kaba's under right now, it seems like he might actually be able to go Super Saiyan. It won't be too hard of a task. So Goten tries his best to get him to imagine what the feeling of Super Saiyan is like. Unlike how Kaba got it against Vegeta because of a threat, he actually is able to unlock it here because he is facing some real stress right now. His whole universe is at stake. It seems reasonable that with all this on his mind, he would be able to get it somehow. And he is able to briefly hold it. Goten's happy to see this, but Kaba still seems somewhat defeated. He powers back down to base and seems somewhat relaxed. He's glad that he got Super Saiyan, but now that he's tried it, he realizes that even it won't be enough to save his universe. He appreciates the gesture from Goten though. Knowing he's going to be knocked out anyways, he wants Goten to do the honors, wanting to fight in his brand new form. Goten's very hesitant to do this because Kaba's kinda his friend, and he can doubt it all he wants, but he knows that Kaba won't be able to make it here. It seems pretty much hopeless for Universe 6, so we might as well give Kaba his last wish. Goten fights him in base and he's pretty impressed with Kaba. It's weird because he never expected to be teaching someone like this. Kaba knows Goten can go to even higher levels, and he tells Goten not to hold back. He transforms into Super Saiyan Blue, showing it off to the young Saiyan. Kaba's amazed, and he wishes that he could have gotten something like this, but it seems like that's not going to be the case for him because his universe is going to be erased. Goten goes up to Kaba, and he makes him a promise. Goten's going to win the tournament and get the wish. Not only reviving Universe 6, but every other universe that gets erased. This makes Kaba happy and gives him some sort of comfort, and he thanks Goten for all that he's done. Goten says his goodbye, and he knocks Kaba off the ring. Luckily that encounter ended just in time, because Gohan's having some trouble with Universe 2. He was fighting Ribrianne and eliminated her, but now the rest of Universe 2 is coming after him, so Goten joins in to help. They're having a bit of trouble, and decide to break out something secret that they thought of but didn't know if it would actually work. The two of them are in blue right now, and they decide to stack another technique on top of it, Kaioken. They haven't used it in a while and they don't know if it'll work with Super Saiyan Blue, but it's worth a shot. Basically all of Universe 2 is coming for them right now, so they might as well try this. Briefly, they flash into Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 4, and make quick work of everyone in Universe 2, although it was a pretty draining technique to use. It's a good thing they only use it for a few seconds because otherwise it would have hurt them badly. Goku and Vegeta sense this and are surprised that they access something above Blue, but they have something up their sleeves as well. Those kids might have their fancy Kaioken technique with Super Saiyan Blue, but Goku and Vegeta have something that arguably might be even better. Well, at least for them that is. We'll see that a little bit later. Trunks and Piccolo right now are facing Saunel and Piranha, the Namekians from Universe 6. These Namekians are really strong, and unlike Frost, they're not cocky at all. They're a great match in power for those two, and together their power might even eclipse Piccolo and Trunks. With all their might, they're about to knock Piccolo and Trunks out, until Piranha gets kicked out of the ring from behind. Saunel's confused and looks over, and this gives Piccolo and Trunks the opportunity to knock him out. A fighter lands next to them and they don't really recognize who it is, but then it clicks with Piccolo. He's seen this person before, and recognizes who it is. It's Tiencha. Tien and Yamcha know that Gohan and Goten didn't want anyone fusing, but they decided to bring Tianchi back as they feel he'll be more helpful than both of them individually. They're able to hang in the tournament for a while, but it seems they might be getting a little bit out of their league, so fusing ends up being their best option. Tianchi has both the techniques of Tien and Yamcha, and he's very powerful, but one of his best aspects is his vision, which comes in handy because just about then, Universe 4 has 2 fighters that knock out Krillin in 18. Using his 3 eyes, Tianchi's vision allows him to find the Universe 4 fighters and eliminate them single-handedly. But it's too bad he wasn't able to catch them earlier and save Krillin in 18. Those 2 are actually the first eliminations on the team, so Universe 7 has a really good lead right now. And that's what causes Universe 3 to bring out their last resort, Aniraza. But he's defeated pretty easily. I mean, you have 6 fighters and then Fusion working together to take him out. So it's not really too hard with brute force. The group split up once again, and that pits Gohan and Goten against Dispo, while Tianchi, Piccolo, and Trunks face Toppo, and Goku and Vegeta face Jiren. Working together in Super Saiyan Blue, Gohan and Goten are actually able to defeat Dispo without using some cage like Frieza did. Briefly activating Kaioken allows them to speed up really fast, so they were actually to keep up with Dispo by using it very conservatively. This seems to be really helpful for them, because they could briefly activate it when they attack, so they won't have to worry about it draining stamina while they're fighting. And it's good that they took out Dispo so quickly, because they're able to join Piccolo, Tianchi, and Trunks in fighting Toppo. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta are facing Jiren. They don't have Kaioken right now, but they do have way more experience with Super Saiyan Blue, and like I teased before, they do have a new step above it. They suddenly stop fighting when facing Jiren, and start calming down as their aura begins going into their body. This is a new stage of Super Saiyan Blue that they've accessed, Perfected Super Saiyan Blue. While it does take some focus to maintain, it allows them to use the form at 100% power, without any of it being radiated away like normal. In this new Perfected Super Saiyan Blue, they're able to use it against Jiren, but it doesn't really do too much to him. They were barely even able to get a couple hits on him, and those hits didn't even do anything. Things aren't looking good, because there's seemingly no way to take him down. After everyone gives up on Toppo, they decide to join Goku and Vegeta against Jiren because there's no one else left. It really has just come down to Jiren versus everyone from Universe 7, well, besides Krillin and 18. So what are they supposed to do? So they're just going to have to rely on what they actually have. They're going to have to work together somehow and use strategy instead of power. And this is where Tianchi comes in and helps a bit. He's going to rely on some abilities to support the team. So he distracts Jiren by launching a massive solar flare, blinding him and giving everyone time to get into position while they lower their ki. They lunge at him with quick attacks, and Jiren is able to fend them off. Jiren thinks they're foolish to try this because it won't work. Even if he's blinded, it will still be fine for him. He starts facing some struggle because there's so many people moving so fast around him, so he can't block all of them, but even when he does get hit, it doesn't hurt too much. His vision eventually comes back, and he's angry now. But then he sees there's multiple Tianchis around him. He split himself into 4 people, and he's surrounding Jiren, providing support with unexpected solar flares. Jiren averts his gaze from one of them, but then is met by another Tianchi, who does another solar flare in his face. Jiren is getting angry by all of this, and while blinded, he starts showing off some of his power. Inadvertently, he knocks Piccolo off, hitting the Tianchi clones as well. They just lost 2 fighters, and this is looking bad. Goku's trying to focus his mind right now, seeing if he can access Ultra Instinct. He wasn't so sure before, but maybe he'll be able to briefly tap into it somehow. Everyone else fights Jiren and lets Goku do his thing. Somewhat like what happened in the manga, Goku is able to awaken UI again briefly, but very briefly after focusing his mind. But he does seem a little bit stronger than before. This is a welcome surprise to everyone because they see Goku now fighting Jiren, and he's actually able to get some hits in, but they can tell UI is wearing off and it's fleeting from him fast. As energy radiates off Goku, Gohan and Goten try to distract Jiren for now and join in, and tell Goku to get out of the battle before he uses too much of his stamina. Almost as if he was holding his breath, Goku lets go of Ultra Instinct and goes back to normal, tired out but not completely out of the fight. While Gohan and Goten try and face Jiren, Trunks calls Goku and Vegeta over. They keep their distance providing support, but then Trunks has an idea for them. Goku's pretty worn out now and he probably won't be able to access Ultra Instinct again. He's too inexperienced with it, and even though he was able to briefly tap into it consciously, he's not able to hold it too well and it doesn't seem very efficient. They need something else, and Trunks has the perfect idea. After seeing what Tien and Yamcha did, he asks Goku and Vegeta if they can fuse. They bring up that Gohan and Goten said they shouldn't because that means one less fighter, but Trunks reminds them that there's advantages to it. They have pretty much no other options, so if they have one less fighter, that doesn't really matter. And if they were to fuse and go into Super Saiyan Blue at full power, they might be able to catch Jiren off guard and knock him out. The two consider this, and it seems pretty risky, so they think hard about what to do. Gohan and Goten are about to be knocked out by Jiren, and Jiren's about to show off his full power. The twins are beaten up pretty badly and it seems that they're not going to come back from this. And as Jiren's about to knock them out, a massive blue blur hits him from behind, knocking the wind out of him. It catches Jiren off guard and sends him flying off the ring because of the sheer power of it. If only he went full power earlier on, he would have been able to prevent this, but he's been holding back this whole time, getting too cocky. After he's knocked out of the ring, it's revealed who did it. Standing there in a brilliant blue aura is Gogeta, who reaches out his hands and lifts up Gohan and Goten. They're surprised to see him here and Gogeta apologizes because he knows they didn't want him to fuse. But they point at Jiren in the stands and tell him that it worked out in the end. They thank Trunks too because even though it was risky, it was a really smart move to do that as a last resort. Gohan and Goten guess they were wrong about fusion, because that's actually what helped them out a lot here. First with Tiencha and then Gogeta. Had they not fused and gone full power, Jiren would have gone full power eventually and won against everyone, so it's good that Goku and Vegeta fused early on and knocked Jiren out before he could power up any further. So they have a few people left in the ring. Who's the MVP? Gogeta, who got the final blow, Gohan and Goten, who were doing very well in the tournament, or Trunks? And I'd honestly say the MVP is Trunks. His idea ended up saving the universe, and he had a multitude of eliminations throughout the tournament. Plus, he even gave out some of his own powers so Goku could heal up, making sure Gogeta would be a more effective fusion. With his smart thinking, good performance, and selfless acts, Trunks seems to be a good candidate for MVP. He's well aware of what his best friends Gohan and Goten probably want for a wish, and he knows that it's the right thing to do, so his wish is to restore every other universe. Zeno was pleased, and this is exactly what he wanted. And everyone is brought back to existence, creating a happy ending. Universe 7's fighters return home, happy to be victorious and that everything went so well. So what now? Well, there's not going to be any Broly movie because there's no Frieza around. Potentially something could happen in the future, but I don't see it as being likely that Broly is going to get off planet Vampa. And as for Moro, I want to wait until the manga finishes that arc, kinda like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I know I already covered it in another scenario, but for this what if I'm going to wait on it and possibly continue once that arc's over. And with all of that done, that means, at least for now, this is the finale for the series. So what did you guys think about this part, and what do you think will happen if we continue it? What did you guys think about the series overall? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check them out so I can see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, and let's try to hit our like goal of 3,000 likes, and if you haven't already, why not subscribe, as well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future videos I upload to my channel, including continuations to the scenario. Thank you all for watching, thank you all for supporting this What If, and I'll see you all in my next video.